I think in my head, I want to pick the Rams. To me, it's going to come down to, can the Bengals offensive line, they gave up 9 or 10 sacks against the Titans, stop Leonard Floyd, Von Miller, and Aaron Donald?
They can.
All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Card Talk. I'm Ryan, joined as always by Tyler and Lou, and we have a big episode today, a lot to get into, but we are going to start with the usual. We're going to start with what's on your mind. So, Tyler, we'll kick it off with you. What's on your mind today?
We're kicking it off me. I think we should kick it off with Lou. Let's kick it off with Lou.
Interesting. Okay, we're just gonna call an audible right in the middle of the thing. That's fine.
Omaha.
So the thing I've been thinking about a lot is that I've developed a really serious addiction to Wordle. This has absolutely nothing to do with cards. I'm just putting it out there for everybody. I'm not sure if you've played yet. You might think you're too cool for it. You're not.
I haven't tapped in.
I don't even know what it is.
Okay, so basically, I'm not gonna get into it, but it's like a 5-minute like word game. Basically, it's like a nice little brain distraction to start the day, gets the day going, makes you feel good. You're competing with your friends so you can get the answer the fastest. It's a very good time, and it makes me happy. And I just did it, so I was thinking about it, and that's that.
Interesting.
I like it.
It's hot. It's hot. New York Times just bought it.
Hot.
New York Times bought it real quick. It's an app. It's a standalone
It's a
app.
website.
It's not an app. You go to Wordle.com.
No, it's not Wordle.com. It's like some other thing. It's like Power Language or something. And this guy built it like in a day or something.
Has nothing to do with NFTs.
Couldn't have anything. It couldn't have any less to do with NFTs.
I kind of feel like that's why people are liking it.
I agree. That's a big part of it. And you can only play it once a day. It's interesting.
I've never played it. Right. We got to get in there and compete. What's on my mind is, well, we have a guest and we got to bring him on because he's what's on my mind. As I sit here in my childhood bedroom, I'm currently recording in the bedroom. Jay, can you bring our friend on? Nice. KT, what up?
Going?
Another local Bengal fan, which is really why he's on the show with us today.
Another local Bengal fan.
I'm in my bedroom that I literally used to watch cartoons in. Jay, can you pull up the image, the greatest image that hit the internet in the past week? So what we have here, and KT, can you just give a little bit of background behind the Kool-Aid Jammer and what's happening here?
Yeah, so I went to the store. Was tired of spending money on food all the time, so you got Kool-Aid Jammer there, and on the right you can't really see it, but you got a mix of Cool Ranch and nacho cheese Doritos.
Wow.
Nice. By the way, laid out on the paper towel.
Yes,
yeah, no place.
Total legend move.
Yeah. No mess. And then you got a ham and cheese in a tortilla that I dipped in the spaghetti and meatballs. Yeah, yep. Roll up. It was real good.
What's that drink? What's that hidden drink? That's a Mountain Dew. Love
Mountain Dew.
Is that a new can for Mountain Dew?
I have no idea. I don't really drink Mountain Dew, but I decided to grab some.
Well, good. That's epic. And we literally texted about this image for like 5 minutes this week, and it gave me a lot of nostalgia, and I knew I was recording here, so we wanted to have you on. But I didn't know until this morning you're a Cincinnati native. Give us a little thought going into the weekend.
I mean, it's intimidating being in the Super Bowl, but I mean, it's the first time anyone in my generation has experienced this as a Bengals fan. So I think we're all pretty excited no matter the outcome. And no matter the outcome, we have a young team. I mean, Joe Burrow's first full season. So I think we're excited just to be there.
Can I ask you a quick question? Just friend to friend, fan to fan. Do you get offended when people like Ryan jump on the bandwagon of your team when the going's good?
No. I know Ryan is a Pats fan, but he lives in Ohio, so I feel like that's
not what you're supposed to say.
That's his getaway or his get out of jail free card.
He's a local to the shop, Lou.
If he had lived in Texas, if he had lived in Texas or like Pittsburgh, would be even worse. And now they're a Bengals fan, I'd be like, yeah, don't show up.
He's a local bandwagon guy, so it's fine.
Yes, I mean, exactly. He has like a deep cut tee on right now.
Did you see that sweatshirt he wore in his live last night?
I saw.
Yeah, I'm rocking. I mean,
yeah, you can't hate on him with that
Joey franchise.
That's like a Facebook group original tee. Like you're deep in it. Like, I don't understand what's going on.
He's
KT,
local enough.
While we have you here, give us your 30 seconds on what's on your mind in all things cards in the hobby. Anything you're hot to trot on, anything you might have a angle or a take on that we can hear from you a little bit. Let the audience get a different perspective for a second.
I mean, obviously, I've been buying a lot of Bengals, Joe Burrow, cracked ice, light blue, prisms, that kind of stuff, mosaics. I've also been looking. I've been buying more 2001 Harry Potter.
Fire.
And I've been looking at the Monsters University scare cards. I know I messaged about it in the group. I don't know. I think they're sneaky.
Play.
They only came out in like 2013 at Universal when they showed the movie, so they're hard to find. I've only found 2 listings on eBay, so I'm trying to work with one of the guys to get them, but we'll see.
Monsters U was a different movie.
Completely different film.
Yep.
Not even the same thing.
No.
They put a big bet behind Monsters U. There could be something there.
That's where they introduced the scare cards. And that movie set up Monsters Inc. And I mean, I don't know. I think it could lead to more.
That's
I like the take.
crazy. Interesting.
I like the take. Sweet. We appreciate. Are you going to be at any shows this year?
Yeah, I'm going to try to go to the National and some local shows around like Cincinnati and Columbus area.
Sweet. Well, we appreciate you coming on, and we'll be rocking into each other at shows.
All right,
all the
thanks
best,
for having
brother.
me.
Be well.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thanks, brother. See you, Kyle. Nice.
Yo, I saw a commercial for they're remaking Cheaper by the Dozen for Disney Plus, and I was like, damn, like they're gonna start remaking Monsters Inc. Like we're getting old in a hurry.
Oh,
Like they're remaking Cheaper by the Dozen. Is that what's happening? That's crazy.
yeah. I had a sad moment, but we'll get into that later. Ryle, you, what's on your mind?
Yeah, so a couple things on my mind. Shout out to Kyle for not, throwing me under the bus there. I have definitely
that was planned for sure.
I have definitely no. I have definitely gotten some DMs in the last 3 weeks that says, "Hey man, good luck to your Bengals." And like just got to be clear that like while I want the Bengals to win, if it was the Browns, I would root for the Browns as well. Definitely a Patriots fan for sure. But
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If it was like the Steelers, would you be into it?
No. Not one bit. Go
So
Rams.
it's just Ohio.
No, I hate the Steelers. I mean, it's mostly Ohio, I guess is probably what you'd say. I mean, there's not many teams I would root for outside of the Patriots. Like, I like Mahomes. Like,
Except for 2 other teams.
Yeah, and in Kafka, and then the Ohio teams.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Speaking
gotta
of
root for
Kafka got a big job.
Big
Shout out
job.
Kafka.
Coordinator for the New
Big
York
job.
Giants. Going to be in the mix. We're definitely going to get him more involved.
Future
now.
head coach.
Can't wait to hang with Mike.
Kafka
Future
is
head coach.
super future head coach in the mix right now. He's got his work cut out for him in New York. I'll say that.
Yeah. Wait.
Keep it going, Rye.
I got one more thing. So we talk about this a lot with like play of the week with like, hey, do you flip PC to get, if you can make something.
Mhm.
And one of my favorite cards I picked up at the National was that Jim Brown Flawless. I got it off Mike from Sports Card Nonsense. It was first year Flawless patch auto out of 5 Jim Brown game use.
Yeah.
And I got a DM yesterday. So I paid $2,200, $2,400 for it. Like I'd never seen one before. It's super cool. It's one of my it's my favorite Jim Brown card. It's probably one of my top 25 cards in my collection. And I got an offer yesterday on it that was in trade and is over 3x what I paid for the card. And it's one of those situations like I enjoy collecting. So like this Jim Brown means a lot to me, but things like that, that's what's been on my mind lately is like, I give people advice like, hey, especially if you're trying to build something, like opportunities like that present itself. We had the Parsons one, really rings a bell because obviously the year he had, but like bought the 101, sold it for crazy amount more.
Hard to get that. It's hard to get that card back.
Honestly, the Parsons, you capitalizing on Parsons brings pain to me.
It wasn't me. It was a guy. It was on the show's play of the week. I've bought some
Got
Parsons,
it. But you bought Parsons.
Picked him for rookie of the year, but it wasn't me I was referring to. There was one on play of the week early on in the season.
So it was a plate, right?
No, it was a 101 Mosaic Black Prism draft picks.
There was a plate too, though. I remember that, Ty. There was something with a Micah Parsons plate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I bought some Eli Moore this weekend. Some immaculate Eli Moore.
eBay just cruising?
I was just cruising eBay redemptions because like they're kind of all ending around like basically there's like of 25s, of 49s, of 75, of 99, all ending right around like $100. So I was just like scooping. I bought like 4 or 5 of them.
I'm just circling back around because we're double dipping on what's on your mind. This dude, Vlahovic, gives me early Erling Holland vibes.
What's his name? Vlahovic?
Yeah. VLA Hovic. Dusan Vlahovic.
Rookie ticket.
Player. Just went to Juve. Scored in his first game back. In his first game there. He's been tearing up Serie A. Just had one of the craziest years.
Oh, speaking of footy, tough week for you last week. Tough, or not last week, the other day.
It's just tough. Yeah. My club's
They're
in
a
shambles.
disaster.
Absolute shambles.
How do you
Top to
like?
bottom.
Are you out on Ronaldo?
I'm not necessarily out on Ronaldo. I'm out on anything being of fun in the interim. Like meaning we've got 2 years of just pain to get to glory.
They're playing today. Are you like not even interested?
They're playing today 3. No, I'm interested, but it's like the Premier League. We're in a fight for the top 4 to get into European football next year. So
Right.
like
It could be
it's
pain.
kind of tough. And but that's the
Yikes.
thing is where your expectations are like you're supposed to win every game, yet you're like grinding it out.
You're like
It's
the
a tough spot
Yankees
to be
of
in.
soccer.
It's a little yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fair.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's-
Brian,
yeah.
I,
What's on your mind, right?
you want to lead us?
yeah, that's all that's on my mind. I was going through these Super Bowl predictions because we're what 5 days away?
Something like that.
I guess so.
5 days away. So I think we should want to do a little like contest, and we'll include the listeners on this. But want to do a prediction, right? Get our 3 predictions on who's going to win, what the score is going to be, and then do a little prop bet contest. Ty, I'll let you maybe work with Jay on the giveaway and like what that's going to be, but get some predictions from the listeners on some different prop bets going on in the Super Bowl this year. So,
Yeah.
First-
So just to do quick on that, how we'll sum it up. You'll go through the questions. We'll answer them here. We're going to put it out to the audience. It'll be 8 with a tiebreaker. If you compete in it, if you submit, you'll get a POAP from that. And then winner, highest score, will get a prize, likely a box of cards.
okay, cool.
More likely than not.
So first and foremost, Ty, Lou, Super Bowl predictions. Who's going to win? What's the score? And who's the MVP?
Lou?
I'm gonna no, because you put me first on what's on your mind. You're not doing that back to back. No.
I got the Rams. As much as I want Joey Futz, Joey Franchise, Joey Burr, Jamar Chase is cool. Mixon's a good time. But at the end of the day, I think Stafford is done everything to get to this moment. And what I see, I feel, I watch a lot of Game of Thrones right now. I feel like if I looked into the Flames, I see one thing. I see like 8 catches, 212 yards, and 2 tutties for OBJ at the Super Bowl in LA, NFL style, commercials everywhere. He's the MVP. They probably win what I'll call a 31-27 barn burner, wrap up the best postseason of football of all time. OBJ MVP. That's what I got.
Lou?
I'm going. All right, I'm gonna go. I mean, this is like really hard because I've been this happened to me last round too. I ended up talking myself out of the Bengals at the last second on Sunday because I'm convinced I'm so obsessed with them. I'm like blinded by how good the other teams are. I just think they're better than the Rams. They just are.
You think the Bengals are just better than the Rams?
I think the Bengals are better than the Rams. I think it's 34-30 Bengals. A glorious, glorious victory for Ryan Cincinnati Bengals.
Who's MVP?
I mean, there's only one MVP if the Bengals win the game.
No, that's not true at all. I'm gonna go Joe Mixon MVP.
Bro, they're not giving Joe Mixon the MVP no matter what happens.
James White won the MVP once.
Yeah, what are you talking about, bro? If you scored 2 touchdowns, you win the MVP.
ask what's his name, homie on the Chiefs. Who is it? Darrell Williams or
I'm with you. I'm just saying it's more likely than you're giving it credit.
Joe
for.
Burrow
Are we
wins the
comparing Darrell
ring, bro.
Williams to Joe Mixon?
We're talking about performance. If you look at his performance in that game, he should have won MVP. They give it to Pat Mahomes for the narrative. And if the Bengals win, they're not going to not hand Joe Burrow, the face of the NFL, the MVP trophy.
Well, that'd be kind of a chalk, boring pick, and
business.
people get mad.
It's
people
business.
get mad.
Fair. I'm just saying.
Jesus, man.
All right. Yeah, I'm torn on this because I think in my head I want to pick the Rams, but to me it's going to come down to, can the Bengals offensive line, they gave up 9 or 10 sacks against the Titans, stop Leonard Floyd, Von Miller, and Aaron Donald?
They can.
That's a lot. That's it. Like, if you can't stop, I mean, the Titans dudes are studs. Like, Simmons is a beast. Like, the Titans got some dogs, but Aaron Donald's the best defensive player in football on top of Von Miller and Leonard Floyd. Like, that's a tall task, but if anybody can do it, Joe Burrow beat the Titans on the road, beat the Raiders on the road, beat the Chiefs on the road. What's one more game on the road? Like, when you're hot, you're hot. I'm picking the Bengals. So I'm going to say 30-24, couple field goals out of, Evan McPherson, the upcoming GOAT. But I'm going to say MVP Joe Burrow. So that's what I got. I'm hoping the Bengals.
Man, I want them to win so bad.
It's going to be a fun game.
I want it bad.
I'm missing the first half. I'm going to be on a flight. I'm sad about it. Who's the kicker for the Rams? Is he legit? Because McPherson's a real factor.
Oh, it's that
Matt
dude, Matt Gay, yeah.
He's nice?
Mm-hmm. Hits bombs. Drops bombs.
Kicking matters.
All right, so let's get into some prop bets. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So Ty, Lou, and then Jay will put these in story, and we'll get this we'll get the listeners involved. All right. First one. Length of the national anthem. Mickey Guyton is singing. Over or under 95 seconds?
Over. You got to maximize your airtime.
No, it's a dead under. Dead under.
I'm going under.
I got a guy.
Has this individual done the Super Bowl before?
No.
Are you sure about that? They might have done a duet previously in the past, right? Maybe you weren't doing your research.
Maybe I wasn't doing my research. Lou knew that pretty quickly. I'm like, no, I don't see it.
Be careful.
Do you think perhaps they did a duet recently and it was 2 minutes and 17 seconds, maybe?
A duet is a little.
I'm going
under. The vibes.
All right. Coin toss. Heads or tails?
Tails never fails.
Yeah, heads for sure.
Tails for sure.
Are we writing this? Someone's writing this down, right? Okay.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's being recorded.
You'd be surprised.
Color of the first liquid poured on the winning team's head coach.
This is such a stupid bet.
It's
orange,
team color now. It's
blue,
team color now.
Green, yellow, lime, clear, red, pink, or purple.
Everyone knows blue is the best Gatorade.
Blue is the best, but if we're going team color, I'm picking the Bengals to win. I have to go orange.
Orange, agreed. I'm in orange. Ty, blue.
Blue. Come on.
Okay.
Come on, man.
Come on.
Let's see. All right. A little less exotic.
Excuse me.
Yeah, can we get like a Jamar Chase?
Which team has the most first downs?
The Rams. The Rams for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Rams too.
Bengals.
Cooper Kupp's gonna have like 18 of them himself.
First team to commit a penalty.
Bengals.
I have a take. There's a penalty before the opening kickoff due to the Bengals just wilding. Bengals
like a fight,
first
maybe?
penalty, just like sideline interference.
Yeah,
Rams.
great.
Just doing the giddy on every, and just turning it up.
I love that.
Or OBJ takes off his helmet.
Will the last play of the game be a QB kneel?
No.
That's a fun one. No.
If you say yes, you're basically like rooting for a boring game.
Bad game. Yeah, exactly. No. Raj, yes.
All right, 2 more.
Did you answer?
I think it will be yes.
You tried to skip that one so that it was going to be like a cheat code if you won or lost by one.
Felt like you wanted to do more research on that
I
one.
saw what
gonna
you were
send it
doing.
in late.
You're not sneaky, right?
First turnover of the game. Interception, fumble, or turnover on downs / there won't be any turnover.
Turnover on downs.
You stole it. It's definitely
Plus
early.
700.
Everyone goes for a
Yeah,
fourth down now.
Early. To set
That's
the
why I
tone.
saw a prop about like, will there be a 2-point conversion made? I was like, yep. And
Yep.
it's like plus 250 or something.
First turnover is a turnover on downs. That's plus 700. I like that.
That's a really good bet.
Yeah. And it's an out. It's a 3-yard out that the hit happens and he's short.
Yes. Anyway, next.
Lou, I got to answer. Remember, don't be accusing me of things and then try to skip ahead there. I see what you did. You're trying to put it on me. But
No. You're deflecting. That's okay. Keep going.
interception. Okay.
Interception. Who's throwing it?
Stafford.
Early. Tough.
Who will have the most touchdowns in the game? Non-QB touchdown scores.
What are my options?
Anyone.
Oh boy.
Who will have more than everyone else? Feels
Yeah.
like is there a push?
Oh, I'm
option on it?
sorry. First person to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
No, this is a weird way to most
The first touchdown. I'm gonna go.
First tutty's a good one. It's Joey Mix. Joey Mixon, first tutty. Lock it in.
How do you say the tight end from Cincinnati's last name?
The one that got hurt?
CJ something. He's
Yeah,
playing.
it's, Uzama.
Him.
Good pick. I'm gonna go
Thank you.
on the other side. Tyler Higbee.
He was hurt too. Both of them got knocked out of the championship games, right?
Yes. Tyler Higbee ruined my fantasy season. I hate it.
A late season blunder.
No, he was consistently inconsistent, and I couldn't figure it out.
Tough. Yeah, I hate that.
All right. Last question. Largest lead of the game. Over or under 14.5 points?
Under.
Under.
15 is a wide margin. I thought you were going to say
Under.
something like 10.
Right.
9.5 would have made that one a little bit more
Jay
spicy.
will get
but-
those posted on IG or Twitter. So make sure you guys check that out. Get involved. Let us know. Yeah, we'll see who wins.
Let's go.
Hopefully a week from now, we're talking about the Bengals as Super Bowl champions. Joe Burrow,
That would be
first
great.
person ever in Heisman National Championship and Super Bowl. Year after Troy's ACL. That would be nice.
Yeah, the ACL is not talked about enough.
All right, let's get into some Facebook questions. I know Jason said we got some good questions. He said, first one is from Tud Creer. He says, how do you feel about the NFL product not seeing many standard releases like Prism Contenders until after the season, similar to what the NBA has had? Thoughts on its domino effect into next year? So this is something we've talked quite a bit about. Lou and I have definitely had similar opinions on this.
We were just talking about this the other day.
Yep. It will be very interesting to see how this plays out. Because I was thinking about this, Lou and Ty, with the Anthony Edwards flawless logo man that was just pulled. I saw Leighton Sports Cards pull that. And, thinking about it, you got the Zion NT doing 550. So I'm thinking, okay, that Anthony Edwards is probably $1 million card. Had that come out at the end of his rookie season, would that card have sold for more or less than it did right now?
Less.
Agreed.
Probably would have changed hands once or twice.
Definitely.
Yep. So I think there are going to be situations like that where it will definitely help a player's market, but I think there are also going to be situations where it would hurt a player's market. Right.
Yeah, I've gone back and forth on this. Part of me thinks like if it comes out later, that's better for the set because people are going to be smarter about their cards. But I also think no matter what happens, it's just the moment in time of who are like the quote unquote hot guys.
Yep.
And that just affects the chase, right? So there's always going to be guys that people are chasing after. It might be a little bit lower in general because just over time there's a cooling down of like the temperatures on the players and everything like that. But I don't think it makes that much of a difference.
Well, Lou, one of the things was kind of talking with someone else about the other day, right? So we don't have Optic, Prism. A lot of these, they're going to come out in March, April, May. I think Select's May 11th. That's right before the NFL draft. typically, if you go back in time, like 2020, contenders draft picks with Tua, Herbert, Burrow, those guys came out before the draft. So when the draft comes, you can buy rookie cards of your favorite players your team drafted, right? So, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson autos, you can get those from Panini Products on draft day. We haven't seen any release dates, but do you think they're going to be 2022 products from Panini out before the NFL draft?
I don't think so. There's no way.
So that has an interesting take where if that pushes college releases back, then that pushes pro releases back. When do you get the first pro release product?
We're there. I think we're there. It's happening.
And you see it with
Prism's if Prism's not coming out till April, like we're already there. Just get over it and just change your mindset of like going into the draft and ripping the previous year's rookies, and like that's okay.
Yeah,
it kind of is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're 4 months into the NBA season, and the only licensed product we have out is hoops.
Crazy
hoops.
I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what the answer is really. It's just going to be the way it is for a while. I'm sure that, of course, Fanatics will want to get back to it, and whoever's printing those cards at that point will want to get back to a regular schedule, because being able to rip NFL draft. Go ahead. What?
Do you think Panini will fix it?
I think at a certain point you have to just rip the Band-Aid off and like don't release some stuff to just reset the schedule a little bit. At a certain point, I would imagine that's what has to happen. Like, is any we always joke about like the mid-tier products and all that stuff. Is anyone gonna miss if they don't put out? I'm trying to think, Brian, like what's like a random NFL product that comes out every year?
Illusions.
Like, can we skip Illusions? Can we skip Clearly Donruss, or like, you know what I mean? Like,
Clearly Donruss is a new product being added this year.
Like, can we just skip all that and just focus on resetting the schedule a little bit? Because ultimately, I think resetting the schedule is more important.
Yeah.
I just think I mean, it's interesting from Panini's side, though, right? If they're losing the NFL license, they probably are looking to have more brands, right? I mean, that would make sense from a business perspective. You couldn't really judge them for that. I mean, or be like upset about that from a business perspective. Your job is to increase bottom line. More products is probably making them more money.
Yeah, they still need to be a business, though. They can't piss off customers. At a certain level, it's understandable right now, to be honest. Like, it's annoying and everything, but it's understandable why it's happening. Like, there's been supply chain issues. There's been a lot of different stuff happening every single day. And I step away, so it'll just be me and Tyler for a minute. But like, there's been a lot of changes and like stuff happens, right? So for now, I think it's okay and understandable, but at a certain point, they're going to have to say, all right, we're going to get back to having the contenders draft picks drop right before the draft, having the Prism drop in November, December, because that's kind of just what people like more, and it is a better schedule.
Yeah, agreed. All right, Jay. Darren Young says, thoughts on eBay's new authentication program? So I've had very little experience with it. We've had a couple cards, I think 4 cards now, be shipped to eBay's, command center, whatever. I think it's down in Florida. We haven't had any complaints, knock on wood, from buyers, and all of the cards we've submitted so far have been authenticated. Obviously, not selling fake cards. I think the interesting piece in this, and I have not looked into this enough, I don't know if either of you have, is does authenticating it remove the void for returns? Like, can someone still say, hey, this card has a scratch, I'd like to return it? Because I know that StockX does this with sneakers, right? So like, if StockX gets a pair of sneakers and they authenticate it, cool. What happens if StockX drops a sneaker? Not as big of a deal. What happens if if somebody at Panini drops my $1,000 Joe Burrow card on the floor and smokes it, just accidentally slides it in the thing and then sends it off to the customer and says, yeah, this is authentic. And the customer's like, hey, this is a PSA 3 corner. I'd like to return this. Where does the blame fall there? So I've got some questions, but those are kind of my first thoughts.
Yeah,
I think quality, they're not doing anything, right?
But it can happen. I think he's saying it can happen. Like, shit can happen as cards are changing hands.
Yeah, if your job is to sit there and authenticate it, and it slips. It's not like it's intentional. The card slips and falls on the floor, and you smoke it. Is that on me? Is that on you? Like, is it just?
I think that could happen with anything, though. That could happen at PSA.
But it doesn't happen if I don't have to send it to eBay first.
I'm saying it could happen whenever it's in anyone else. Like as soon as your card enters a third party's hands, like that's the risk you're taking.
Agreed. And that's my whole point. Is this necessary for sports cards?
I don't hate it. I actually like the idea of it, to be honest with you, because there's too many fakes running around on eBay. Like it's just a fact of the matter. Like there's just a lot of fake cards running around.
I'm
And
not saying
that's a big complaint for people. And people are like, there's no way to know if this card's real or not. They're like, there's been some differing packaging, and I'm sure they're trying to figure all that out. But like, it just feels like a little bit of a higher quality experience and like a real buying experience rather than like you're just buying off some random person on eBay and you have to hope that it's a real card, and then they put it in a penny sleeve and also put it in a top loader and also package it up safely, and like, you know what I mean? Like they're kind of taking that part out of it a little bit.
I think those are good points, Lou.
Thank you,
because the it's almost like their version of grading. I think that there are a lot of raw cards transacted. What I'm trying to think of is like, what's the sweet spot from a cost perspective that you want to send it to be authenticated?
Yeah.
Right. Are people going to be sending 25? I don't know if there's a threshold.
I think eBay automatically puts it on Ty for cards $750 or more.
$750 or higher.
Got it. So that's auto, like if you're selling raw on for a card over $750, you got to go through there.
You automatically.
I love that. And how about do you have the option to use it for a fee?
I don't think they do yet. I think it's still new. I'm sure they will eventually though.
Got it. Is there extra fee, or they're building it into like their service fee?
I think the fee is you probably have to wait a little bit longer to get the cards, but that's it.
They're trying to protect their platform pretty much of fake stuff being sold, while also I'm just curious if they are. I mean, if they're just building into their 10% margin, and then they get 10% on the sale, right? 2.5% or something for processing fee. So they're doing it there, or are they trying to drive costs?
I don't think they're driving costs. I think they're just trying to level up the business and just like formalize it a little bit. That's what it seems like to me.
All right, we gotta move on. Next question is from Phil Palmisano. He said, "What release in the first half of the year are you guys looking most forward to?"
2021 F1 Topps Chrome.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to see what happens. I'm very interested to see what happens when there's more F1 cards in the marketplace.
Ty, have anything?
I think Prism Premier League. Like, I just enjoy it. I mean, that's what I have probably the most fun with. I'm definitely looking forward to some of the F1, but yeah, Prism Premier League.
There is a product coming out. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this. I'm not sure how much it's been talked about, but it's from Upper Deck. It's Skybox Metal Universe Champions, and it's a multi-sport product. So some key rookies from football. It has Najee Harris, Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence, and Zach Wilson. But key players, Wayne Gretzky, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods. It says each box contains 6 arc weld, Intimidation Nation, and or Blast Furnace cards, 3 Skybox Premium cards, 3 base set retro 97-98 cards, at least one autograph, PMG, rare insert, or low numbered parallel, and 1 reaching for the stars or a cut above on average. So PMGs in a more modern product of guys like Jordan, LeBron, Gretzky, Tiger is certainly intriguing. The cross-sport collaboration sounds cool. It's got other guys like Ty's boy, Josh Giddey, Sabrina Ionescu, Allen Iverson, Michael Jordan, Connor McDavid, Michaela Sheffrin, Shane Wright.
Does LeBron, is he in his pro uniform in that?
I'm sure he's not. Panini has the NBA license. So it'd be LeBron and like St. Vincent, St. Mary, I would assume.
Right. So that's less cool. Interesting.
Tiger Woods, PMG. Yeah. Connor McDavid, PMG. Upper Deck has hockey.
He has one though, right? He already has.
Yeah, sure.
When does that come out?
May, April.
World Cup is Mosaic.
Yeah, there's a couple different Mosaic ones.
There's some good stuff coming out this year.
Yep. On top of like, again, what we just talked about earlier, Prism, Select, things like that.
I got my 2018 World Cup Prism right here. That was my jam.
All right, so Greg Kohler asks, I'm concerned about the new tax on electronic payment apps over $600 a year. I'm already way over that amount. I'm thinking a way around this would be to create a business. Doing so would allow me to write off my purchases to offset my revenue on electronic payments.
Okay, quick pause. Let's not discuss taxes as a way to get around them. Let's be understanding of the fact that there is a tax system and you have to pay taxes. There's no getting around taxes. You have to pay taxes. You can create an LLC. You can do all those things. You should talk to a CPA about that. But there is no getting around it. Just want to make that very clear for everybody.
Yeah. I think this is definitely going to change how a lot of people do business. Like, I don't think, you see the question pop up on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook groups quite a bit. Like, hey, should I talk to my CPA about this? This is like a real serious thing. And that, this has been, unregulated and kind of off the radar for a while. And it's obviously blown up in the last 2 years and it's going to continue to grow and get bigger. Creating an LLC is not super complicated, but it's definitely important. Talking with a tax professional about this. I mean, if you're doing $600 plus a month in transactions, like this is something you should be looking at regardless. I mean, I would say $5,000 a year, $10,000 a year, you should probably be at least looking at it. And I have a feeling there's quite.
Is this a new? I have seen some chatter.
I was also going to say this.
I don't think this is
also
new.
It's not new. There's a lot of like misinformation, like being jumbled in with this. There was like a whole other thing that they were talking about doing with like the new tax laws and all that stuff that was related to this. This is you get like a 1099 or something like that, and that doesn't necessarily. I don't know.
It's
how
from
all stuff
Venmo,
works, but it's not like
that's
a
one
tax.
I've heard about.
It's not a tax form. It's like a 1099, which isn't necessarily the same thing from my understanding. Again, I have a CPA for these things. They tell me what to do. That's what you should do as well. But my understanding is that it's not as crazy as everyone makes it sound like it is.
I mean, the reality is if you're selling cards and making profits on them, like that you have a business. He says, right. I'm thinking a way around this would be to create a business. No, you have a business.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
are choosing to formalize that business.
You need to pay taxes as either individual or as a business.
Mm-hmm.
What he's talking about, which isn't about necessarily getting around, is creating an LLC so that he can write off business expenses as a way to draw down on taxes, which there's, those systems and work with people. But yeah, I don't think the three of us are like expert tax advisors, but to your point, right? If you're selling $1,000 worth of cards, might as well learn and get an LLC set up and be prepared for it.
All right. We got one more from Philip Bodenbach. It says, do you think PSA will open back up value services in the same lottery style format with limited allocations as they did with their economy service level?
Shout out to our Play of the Week winners Instagram group. I didn't even know this was happening. I didn't even know they were doing like a lottery like this. I had no clue. That's such a funny system. It's actually how they all do it, how everyone does it now, right? Like everyone does like an online lottery system. I would think they're going to keep it like that, at least in the beginning.
Yeah, 1,000%.
It also adds like a little like fun level to it for them, which I'm sure they're not upset about. So,
yeah, I have a hard time believing PSA is just going to open up by the end of the year a $10 to $15 grading option where anyone and everyone can send in cards. I have a hard time believing that is coming. So
they might do it. It might just be in this lottery system, which is okay.
Yeah, I just don't mean like anybody and everybody. This is a lottery where you can get 5 cards at a time, and only so many amount of people get it each week.
And it's also that thing where everyone wants it. Everyone wants it always. Like they want to be able to submit as many cards as they want for as low money as possible, and they also want all their card values to keep going up no matter what.
And for PSA to not charge them more money.
And for PSA to not charge them more money.
And get theirs back very, very quickly at a discounted rate.
Everyone wants it every way.
Yeah. All right. Quick rapid fire question. Super rapid fire. Zach Hicks said, would you rather fight 1 horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
It's a classic question. You're muted, Ty.
That's weird. We just got hit with this question.
Ty, just a little rapid fire.
I know. I just wasn't prepared for like, would you rather fight 1 horse-sized duck or 100 ducks?
100 duck-sized horses for sure.
That's definitely the wrong answer. 1 horse-sized duck.
Do you know how big that duck is? It's I mean,
It's like a horse size.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like lateral movement, well, 100 of anything. It could,
Brother,
once
like,
they get
they're-
behind you, like
they're this
you're
big.
cooked.
a duck is this big, brother.
You never seen Jurassic Park, bro? Like they get eaten by when there's a lot of something, you got to watch your six, left
you're
and
listening,
right.
if you made
One
it this
duck
far-
of a horse, you just hit them with a little lateral movement, throw them off their game, get behind them.
I am fucking punting a bunch of little duck-sized horses. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Bro,
if you're on Twitter, I was
horses are strong.
Jay. Put this on Twitter tomorrow. Like I gotta know. Like for
It's-
sure, I'm taking 100.
If you're trying to take them on one man, 100?
Yeah, 100 for sure.
If you
All right.
never looked at a duck and said I could punt that duck, you're confused.
Horses are a lot stronger.
Yeah,
It's
but we're not with the size
it's
of a
this
duck.
Big. It's a duck size.
Ducks can be. Give me some girth on a duck, bro.
All right, so shout out to everybody who submitted questions on the Card Talk Facebook group. We're gonna move on. We're gonna get into play of the week. Jay has let us know that play week this week is also very, very good. Not sure it can top last week's. Last week's was
overselling. He needs to just get us into the segment every week. He's not
was
figuring it
was
out.
legendary. All right, Jay. Let's see what we got this week. All right, so this is from 2B. Is it Matt Herman? All right, it says, I bought this sweet Joey B Optic Contenders Green Pulsar Rookie Auto at a 27 PSA 10 at my LCS Burbank Cards on January 12th for $6,500 before the first round of the playoffs. I've been super aggressive on Burrow because I think he is criminally undervalued compared to what Herbies were going for, and he's just a freaking stud. Anyways, I was loading up for next season thinking they were going to for sure be the sexy pick to win it all next year before the season starts, regardless of how this year's playoff success. I threw it up on eBay right away for a stupid price of $16,500. Well, after his Chiefs win, someone paid the full ticket and bought it for $16,500. Made a quick $10K in 3 weeks. Wanted to share here, and perhaps hindsight, I should have held, but got to take the W's when you can. Huge fan of the show. Made a few fun deals at shows with both Ryan and Lou. Still pissed that I traded Ryan at the National an amazing Eminence pass auto of Christian Pulisic for a Baker Mayfield tie-dye XRC.
Oh,
Let's go.
Tough scene for that.
yikes.
I still have that card too.
Yeah, you had to bury him like that.
Sounds like someone was a little quick on the buy it now trigger, if we're being honest. But I love
I
it.
sold quite a few Burrows when they beat the Chiefs as buy it now. It's like clicked. Like they got a lot of people were clicking them.
I'm just saying, man, one day I hope to be able to have that level of like
Fire away ability.
yeah, just like the full like pulling up from 40, like just smash and bin on 16.5 is like a lifestyle I can't understand.
That's a lot of money, man.
It's a great. I mean, hey, respect on the play.
Great
Good
card,
play.
great play. Yeah. That's why
Yeah,
you make
great
those
flip.
prices what you do, because you never know.
Yeah.
Hell of a play. 10K is not a bad day.
Not nothing.
I'm sad I haven't met Matt, but he's met y'all.
Yeah.
It's usually the other way around.
Matt, one day.
All right, Jay, next one.
Maybe eventually.
Potentially.
All right, this is from High Five Comics and Cards. It says play of the week submission. I've always preferred buying bulk or buying collections in the wild over single cards on eBay, and here's why. I followed up on a Facebook ad on my way to work one morning for 4 monster boxes, no information. Seller said she had them out at her garage sale all weekend and no one even looked at them. Flipped through quick and saw some Manning rookies, paid the full asking price of $80. I took them home and noticed one box labeled 2000s football. Found a full 2000 Bowman set. Submitted the Brady and it got a 9. Messaged the original seller and told her I needed to stop by and drop off some more money. I gave her an extra $500. She was floored and had no idea the cards would be worth that much. Ended up accepting an offer for $34.50 for the Brady and gave the extra bulk to some kids at a church who are getting into cards. After fees, cleared about $22.50. I mean, this might be your feel good story of the week.
Yeah. It's not only play of the week. This is like humanitarian of the week.
Just good guy award.
Yeah.
Look at Lou's
Hobby
face.
life.
You love to see it. Makes me happy. I love shit like that, man.
Yep. I'll never forget, right when I first opened, someone had brought in something like this and had like a Longenberger basket full of like cards like this. And she brought this whole thing in and flipping through it, and these cases were like dirty and stuff. And she's like, yeah, found these in our garage. Like, I'm not expecting much for them. I think she was expecting like $75 or $80, and it had like Brady Bowman chromes, Jordan 90s inserts, and this was right when I first opened 2 years ago. And I mean, it was well above $1,000, and she was like, wow, this is like, it happens, man. But this is
Crazy.
It's wild. I mean, to find a Brady Bowman rookie in the wild that was chilling in the garage at a garage sale, nobody picked through, give her the money back. Like,
Cards is one of the few things that exists like that, where you could just have it sitting in your house for decades and you pull it out and it's $1,000. There's not a lot of things like that.
Yeah, you ain't wrong.
China.
Yeah, like you find like an old book or something, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, books are crazy.
Yeah, that's a heck of a
still,
high five.
Hey, Anthony Edwards is doing $1 million and Zion's doing 550.
Ty, that was a 101 flawless logo man rookie auto versus a Zion National Treasures patch auto out of 99.9510.
Got it. 1-to-1. Where, like, I was just like, is Anthony Edwards that much more sought after than Zion right now?
I just have a hard time believing, again, maybe I'm mistaken. I just have a hard time believing there's not going to be somebody after Anthony Edwards' best card ever made, game worn logo man 1-of-1 autograph versus a Zion player worn RPA out of 99 for a guy that hasn't played all year.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you.
$500,000. So
I hear you.
If we're comparing those two, I would expect the Anthony Edwards to do $1 million.
Makes sense.
We'll see. All right, next one is from Luke Cards. It says, hey guys, big fan of the pod. Figured I'd submit my play, which I think is pretty damn good. I bought this Salon Tops Now 11 CSG 9.5 with excellent subgrades for 3,800. Cracked it, sent it to PSA since the subgrades were so strong and it came back at 10. Overall, I was into the card for 4,500. After grading and such, sold it for 12.5 on eBay today. Pretty proud of this one. So I actually saw this on Twitter. I like Luke. We've done some deals before. He's an awesome guy.
Max fan.
And I saw he cracked this, and I saw he put this up there. I do want to give Luke a little bit of shit. I don't know this well enough. I gotta ask Luke about this. I think he got an offer for like 12.5 originally, and I thought he countered him for like 13.5, and I think the guy walked away. And then I think he came back and offered 12.5. So I'm gonna check I want to see if I can find this because I don't want to smoke Luke if I'm completely wrong on this. But I could have sworn that's what I saw when I was looking at this because I saw this happen on there. Let me see if I can find it on Twitter.
Listen, you get an offer. You talk about this all the time. You gotta send the counter back. It never hurts. They walk away. They come on back. You know, when you get it,
they don't always come on back.
But this time they came on back. You gotta take a shot. Nothing wrong with taking a shot.
I mean, I love it.
Unless he straight up was like, "I'm not."
Deal got done. Deal got done.
Walking away after one counter offer is like kind of a crazy move, to be honest.
Yeah, no kidding, for sure.
He came back.
I know Brian's looking this up. I'll make a quick point. There's nothing more fun to me in cards than cracking and resubbing. It's the number one most fun thing. Ryan likes value boxes. I love finding a card with good subgrades that I can crack.
Crack and slap.
The best. I have 3 right here. I'm ready to do. I'm so excited.
I can't wait to get to the show.
Yeah.
March.
All right,
Ryan. Yeah, so he doesn't specifically say it, so shout out to Luke, but he shows an offer of 12.5, and then there's a tweet later. This is what I implied. It says he came back, and I decided to secure the bag, and he sold it for 12.5, which is what the guy offered originally. So I'm not sure if that's what happened, but again, Luke is also into F1, has some really cool F1 stuff too. So shout out to Luke for the crack and $8,000 profit.
Yeah, it's a good play.
Not a bad move.
Holland still doing his thing.
I will say,
Holland.
I saw something I think it was on Facebook about a guy that cracked 2 SGC 9.5s and sent them into PSA or 2 PSA 10s and sent them into CSG and got like, I wish I could find the picture, 8.5 and 8. Like PSA 10, like they were cheap. They were cheap like Pokemon cards.
Oh, it was like a test.
Cracked them. They were PSA 10s, cracked them, sent them to CSG and didn't do as well on them. I've heard, again, I've never graded a card personally with CSG, but I've heard some people say that CSG is pretty tough on grading.
I've heard that as well. I just wish they would change their slap, like the displays.
So Yeah, Jay said he sent in 50 cards himself and got 0 10s.
Crazy.
That's
Sheesh.
interesting. All right, shout out to Luke. Love the play.
Any more or no?
Let's play Luke.
All right, N Daily 44. So Nick says, January 5th, I picked up this Mosaic Joe Burrow auto for about $500 in trade. Right after the AFC Championship game, I listed it on various Facebook groups I'm in and on eBay. I ended up taking an offer for $10.40 net on Facebook and the Shohei Ohtani refractor, just over 2 times my money. Usually I have more cards than cash flow, but from this podcast, I have learned a lot. One of those things is that you don't want to be card rich and cash poor. Cash is king. Keep up the good work. Huge fan. I love it.
I've never disagreed with a trade before I've seen on this show. I don't think I'm making this trade.
I don't think he made a trade.
He cashing.
The cash and the
I'm
Ohtani.
saying I wouldn't. I don't think I'm making that.
He traded it out for the cash and the Ohtani.
I understand. I'm saying I don't think
I
do
know.
that.
Yeah, this was January 5th, brother. They hadn't even beaten the Titans on January 5th. Joe Burrow's market wasn't a fifth of what it is now.
Right after the AFC Championship game, I listed it and sold it. What are you talking about?
He picked up the Joey on Jan 5th.
Right, like slow down. Don't get so mad.
Now I see. That's on me. My bad.
It is on
Lou's dialed in.
It's an interest. I don't think I'd make that trade.
Listen, you're notorious Ohtani flash in the panty.
But
Lou, I think
The
a bottom statement is important, though, right? Like you bought it for $500, you make $500, and you get another card to play with, and you just
totally,
$500
yeah.
is a
Actually, you know
lot.
what? There's other Burrows you can get into. Like this is just a Mosaic.
Yeah, if you believe in Burrow, go buy a Burrow, Mosaic 10, and whatever rookie you want for $150, $200, stash that. Keep your profit. I don't know, just keep it moving.
Yeah, I don't hate that. You're right. I take it back.
All right. Now, I think there's one more. All right. So this is from, this will be good. NEO Cards and Comics says, play of the week. With the Marvel PMG craze, I spent some time researching other numbered cards that hadn't caught on yet. I stumbled across these gold webs at a 49 from 2017 Fleer Ultra Spider-Man, and they were signed by the artist. I stacked a Spider-Man black suit on January 24th for $58 and sold it on February 6th for $650. About 500-ish profit in just about 2 weeks. The $650 was a straight up buy it now, as I had slightly undercut another listing at $700. I also used the 1% promoted listings, a very underused tool when a certain item gets hot.
58 to 650 in 2 weeks in 2022. People think that stuff isn't happening anymore.
That's wild, man. I love the hey, I see this getting hot, so I'm looking into it and I'm finding something else and I'm making plays that I love it.
You give up the 1% to get up to the top of the results. You undercut the prices to make sure you get it sold.
Yep. I mean, cost him $6 to sell it. $6.
Yeah, so you paid $64 or whatever.
Yep. Yes, I mean, 65 on 10% fees plus the extra $6 for the promoted listing, 71 off that. So you're talking what, 580? So minus shipping and stuff, you're making $500 on one card in 2 weeks.
Love it.
It's pretty good.
Neo makes a lot of plays, though. I've seen Neo out here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He lives up in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's a strong play.
Another one of your guys. This is like
knows what he's doing, man.
A thing. All right, one more after this. He says,
"No, that's it. Sorry, that was it. That was one more."
That's a great play.
There's some. This is really good.
Marvel goes so deep.
Marvel does go.
I really like Luke's play of the cracking the CSG thing because I've seen that a lot lately. I like the Brady. I mean, the Brady's story is like a feel-good story of the week. I mean, that's. I
really want to take the Brady, but I don't think I am.
I like that. I like the Joe Burrow, man. Like you said, don't want to be card rich, cash poor. Flipping 500 to 1,000. You do that a couple times. That's real results.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with the Haaland.
Man, this is tough. I like the Marvel play though too. That's hard to beat. Ty?
I think I like I'm going with the Tom Brady. I'm going with the coming back around to drop all 500 more bucks, and I'm still cashing out, and that card looks clean. And my man was doing the old Facebook ad on the way to work, grinding it out. I just got a high five comics and cards.
Yeah,
I got a little comics action. I think this is a glorious thing. And he dropped the rest of the bulk off at the church to the kids. I can't leave this segment without letting my man know I'm trying to be more like him.
Yeah. So I like both. I like all of these, but I'm gonna leave this in the hands of the audience. So I'm going to go with the Joe Burrow mosaic. That is, this is, you know, I can't stress this enough. I like the flip, repeat. This is real, right? For somebody that could be really trying to make it in cards and make this a full-time thing. Like, this is something I would, you know, preach a lot. Like, hey, you buy a good deal, you flip it, you move on, and you reinvest it, and you go to the next one, right? Like, there's a lot of cards I wish I wouldn't have sold, but all of those things you sell get you one step closer to the goal. So
one thing I really like about this too, Rye, is like pretty much you flipped out of a in the moment white hot item for like an off cycle, you know, kind of start like Otani. It's low, right? Meaning the hype on him is low comparatively. You know, it's probably the lowest over the last 8 months, off season versus hot in season. There's also some value in there, and you got to have some chutzpah to make that move. It's hard to move out of a Burrow, you know, in Super Bowl week and into an Otani when there's not much going on, but it's actually the right play.
Yeah, I agree. So I would go with, these are all great. This is, you know, Jay was definitely right. This is there were some good ones this week, so shout out to Jay on that. But I would go with N Daily 44 on this, and I'd go with the Burrow. So Jay, maybe put something up on IG or Twitter after this, and let the listeners listen and or give their feedback, and we'll name a winner. And what time? Announce it next week.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Looking forward to that.
We'll go with that. All right. So last but not least, you got this week's latest launch. Rookies and Stars football is really the main thing here. You've got Pro Set Metal, baseball, and then some Yu-Gi-Oh, but that's about it. So
NBA trade deadline, big trade just went down.
Mm-hmm. CJ on the move.
CJ's on the move.
Who?
CJ McCollum.
CJ McCollum got traded?
Yep, to the Pelicans.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Batman. I just want to say Batman because the movie's coming out. It may not be a card release, but it's a release that matters for cards.
Ty, do you think Fortnite's going to make skins into NFTs? Well, movie, yeah.
I think.
Do you think the skins will be tradable?
Not anytime soon. I don't. Not anytime soon. I don't.
I sometimes wonder how they're going to integrate the game, because that game is ripe for like play to earn and all that. So I just wonder if they're ever going to do something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't necessarily see it. Like, to me, one of the things that is on my mind is like the gold and how that transfers game by game. Like, I could see you being able to sell gold.
Hey, real quick, I just wanted to say, I don't know if you guys have seen the price of ETH, but I wore it, right?
You took the shirt off and it went back up.
Just saying, might have to rock
Have
it
you
next
worn
week.
the shorts since?
Get it to the moon. Oh, I've definitely
Yeah,
worn
we
it
need it
since.
to.
No, don't wear it. Not on the
gotta
show.
get it up. It's going to the moon. Like, I'm gonna rock
It feels like next episode's prime for like a ETH shirt. Kick it off.
If the Bengals win the Super Bowl, it won't be an ETH shirt. I'll be rocking. I'm just telling you.
Guys, Batman.
So, all right, see you guys next week.
Peace.
Peace.